Hey guys, Looney here, and welcome back to the first plugin tutorial that I'm actually going to be uploading onto my YouTube channel. This one is actually a very, I won't really say basic, but it is pretty much straightforward, and it is how you can create your own KitPvP plugin. Now, the way I'm actually going to do this is it'll be custom for your server only. You won't be able to, I don't know, like put it up on dev.bucket.org and get people to download it and use it, because they won't be able to, one, customize the kits, and two, they may not even be able to customize the kit selector or whatever it's going to be called, or the item itself. So the simple way on how I'm actually going to do this is just by showing you guys a tutorial on how you can do it for your server only, or for a client that basically just wants you to edit it whenever. So I'm going to go ahead and create a KitPvP project name, and inside of here I'm going to just right click the KitPvP, and I'm going to add a file. That file will be called plugin.yml. Now, we don't actually need a config.yml for this, and as you can see, it opens up in Notepad++ for me, which I don't like, so I'm going to go ahead and right click it and open with text editor instead. So name, we're just going to do this quickly, and this is basically what the folder will be called, which is created in the plugins folder on your Bucket server. So I'm going to call it tutorial KitPvP. Next line is main, so this is the main form, or just the main source. You can just leave this blank for a second, but we haven't done that. Version is 1.0. commands, for the moment I'm just going to put starter, and then I'm going to put description, and then under that I'm going to put usage, and I'm going to go back to amateur, description, and then usage. How do you even spell amateur anyway? Oh, I think it's EU. Yeah, thought so. Right, so that's that. That is pretty much that for a bit. Now you can go ahead and put in the description of this. So I'm going to put, this will give the player the starter kit. This will basically be the description for, like, if you did /help and then, I don't know, tutorial KitPvP, this is what the description of that command would be. So it's got to be kind of brief as well, but it's also got to be informative or informative. I can't remember which way it is. So yeah, usage again is /amateur. Now you have to do / for the usage. It doesn't automatically put it in for you, and you can go ahead and save that. So source, we're going to create two classes. One of them will be me.tut. Now you want to put me, it's just something that you know, quite a lot of people do, and then normally it's your name or the server name, but I'm going to call this tut because that's basically what all my tutorial ones will be. And I'm going to put listeners, and then net finish, and then I'm going to go ahead and click the source one again, click add class, and then me.tut.main, because this is what my main class will be. Inside of main, I'm going to click it and add a class, and now this one will be main with capital M. I always put my classes with a capital M to begin with, otherwise I may get confused. And then in the listeners, you want to put player listeners, and that's pretty much that. So in the main, you know, we just want to, in fact, before we even do the main, want to go ahead, right click to KitPvP, whatever you called it, and then you want to go into the build path, configure build path, and libraries, and add external jars. Now I'll actually put in the jar that you need in the description below. It will be a website that you go ahead, click on it, click the one that you're going to download. The one that you're going to download is the one that your plugin will be supporting. So for example, I need to go ahead and go to my desktop, go into other, Minecraft modding, into my tutorials, because this is where my workspace is, and that basically I've put it in here for each and every single one of them. I'm putting in a separate bucket.jar. I'm not going to use the same one, So you just want to basically locate it. It can't be the server.jar, it has to be the one for developers. So there is a difference, and it will not work if you do so. Now some people go into the java.location, let me just apply that and put a java.doc location path, but I'm not going to because I don't really need it. I don't really use it anyway, just simply because I don't think it's necessary. So we're going to put send Java plugin, which, you know, you're going to get an error because you need to import Java plugin. You've probably already done this if you know a bit of coding, but what you don't want to do is you don't want to put in your on enable and on disable yet, because we're going to go ahead and put a private static and then main instance capital M and then instance. If you didn't put a capital M, don't put a capital M. It's what this is called. Otherwise you will get an error. Don't worry about this. The yellow, or yeah, yellow kind of basically just means that it's not actually being used currently, and you know, it's basically just a warning. So we're going to add a, or even create a public void, and this one will be log. So it's basically going to log the information. Correct me if I am incorrect. The system dot out dot print, no, that's comma, dot out dot print in brackets string, all in lowercase, and you always want to put a semicolon at the end. Now if you want to, you could go ahead and do 2 backslashes and then just type whatever this part of the coding is, and you know, just kind of like a brief description to help you out. So you can always go ahead and do that. If it makes you go ahead and understand it better, go ahead, do it. You know, it doesn't mean that you're bad. Actually, quite a lot of people do it. Even a lot of coders do it, so don't worry about that. So we're going to go ahead and put one where it gets the instance. Really all that this is doing is just returning the instance, and obviously the instance is the main class. Put capital M. I don't know why I put lowercase. Why is this? I don't worry about that yet. Now we're going to go ahead and register our listeners. So public void register listeners. Now in here we're going to add a plugin manager. It doesn't matter if you're really going to have, well, I guess it kind of does matter if you're going to have permissions. It's very recommended that you actually have permissions. I'm not going to do permissions for all classes, just simply because it's not really necessary. As default classes, there's no need in giving a player a permission for that if all the players are actually going to be able to get it. So I won't actually be doing a tutorial in this one where you'll be getting we will be actually giving the people permissions or players permissions, just simply because it's just pretty much just not needed. What have I done wrong? Alright, okay, it's because, alright, okay, I put listeners, so we have to put listeners here. I should have already put listener, so don't even get that confused. Make sure it's listener, not listeners. So now usually you'd add this last, but I'm doing it now just to get it over and done with, so you will always get that one error. So we just need to go ahead and add a public void register commands. Now I won't actually be using this, so I can do a / not using this yet. This will be in the next tutorial, the advanced tutorial, I guess. So now it's time to do the @override. So @override and then public void on enable. This is basically what will happen in the console when, I don't know, let's say when we are well, basically when the plugin is enabled. So I'm going to go ahead and get a logger. So basically this will send something out to the server itself. Then info, this basically sends info. It's pretty much a shortcode send info, and I'm going to put has been enabled, if I can actually spell been correctly, enabled successfully, and that's that. And then I'm going to go ahead and do instance equals this register listeners, and then register commands And then I'm going to go actually, because we're not going to really need a config, there's no point in saving a config. So basically what this is, what this does is, when the plugin is enabled, it will look in the register listeners and register commands, and it will basically work it out, if you will. So that's the on enable. So I'm going to go ahead and put when the plugin is enabled, leave that one there, under here, / when the plugin is disabled, and then @ override again. We always have to add a @ override for these, and then public void on disable. This is basically what we're going to do when the plugin is disabled. So I'm going to go ahead, get logger again. You don't really need to get the logger each time, you know, this is just personal preference. I want to know if it's working correctly or not. So I'm going to put has been disabled successfully. If I could put an exclamation mark, that'll be fine. And then instance equals null, so then when it loads again it doesn't get confused. Obviously, like I said, we're still going to get these 2 errors because we haven't even done that yet. Don't worry about that. Like I said, we should really put them in last, but it doesn't really matter. Put P in lowercase, not capitals. And that's also a L. Yeah, right, okay. So println, that made no sense. So anyway, down here will be the command, so / commands. You could actually do these on a different, like, you could do me.tut.classes or kits. I'm going to put them in the exact same one. So the way I'm going to do it is the player can do /starter, and you can get his kit, or they can get their kit even. And you could have like a GUI plugin, or you can even code your own GUI plugin, which basically sets off a command for that player, basically types in without the player even knowing, so that player can get that. Like compass navigation, you could link compass navigation to do a command, like right click the compass, you could name the compass whatever you want, you can even change the compass to whatever you want it to be. And you can also, like once they click the item, it can give them a certain kit by executing a certain command. So it is really helpful. You know, GUI type of plugins actually fit very well with this type of plugin itself, or you could do it totally different. I'm going to do it this way just because it's simple. I've used this for my own plugin, for my own KitPvP plugin, and you know, this is just what I find best. You know, it's not complicated. Then if the compass doesn't actually get given to the player, you know, it's not really hard for them to go ahead and execute a command. You know, it basically just, like, if it ever bugs out, the player can actually play. You know, it's just a lot better. So if you are used to coding, you should already know this, and don't forget to add a return statement. But you never want the return statement to be at the top. You always want it to be pretty much at the last result. So / starter command. So basically this is where this starter command will start. Anyway, this is basically just the your average on command. You will only have one on command boolean, whatever you want to call it. So don't create an extra one. You can have 2 in one. So cmd I've got get name. This will then get the player's name, equals, ignore case, and then this is basically what the command that will be executed. So you don't want to put a slash unless if the player will type // If you're going to put /kit space starter, go ahead and do kit space starter, or if it's just like /starter, do /starter. But I'm going to do well, just typing in kit starter. In fact, I'm just going to put starter. It's just a lot easier. And then inside this bracket you want to put space and. So basically making sure that the sender is an instance of a player only, so it won't give the console the it basically won't try and give the console the items, which obviously isn't possible. So here we're going to make sure that the player, we're basically going to dim the player as a player, and the player in brackets will basically be the sender. Obviously, like, you know, these are basically the standard type of coding. So first off, we're going to go ahead and get player, or you could even do player p, like you could put player as a p and do p.get inventory bracket and then dot clear, because we're going to clear the inventory first, and it doesn't really matter what you put here. I'm going to put p just because it's short, less coding to write. So then Itemstack. Now if you go to add enchantments, you're going to want to dim it as something else, so I recommend you do this anyway, because then you can find out what it is. So I'm going to dim it, or the item stack, as a starter bow, and then it'll basically be a new item stack, and that material will be a bow. That's basically how it works. Now we want to go ahead and import item stack, and we're going to want to go ahead and import material. I spelled material incorrectly, so you want to import material, and then you should see the bow goes green, blue, italic. Sorry. Now here we're gonna want to we're gonna go and add a item meta. Now you it's simple to get confused at this part. Item meta is basically, we're going to name the bow, so we're going to name it starter bow. If you don't want this, you can basically just totally ignore this. I will say in the tutorial, right? So now if you ignore this, you basically want to go from here. So we're gonna want to go ahead and get the item meta. Go ahead and import item meta, because it won't already be imported. There we go. And then we want to do m, because we dimmed it as m right here. M.set display name, and then in brackets, and then this is basically what it will be called. So I'm going to do chat color dot let's say green, and then plus chat color dot bold plus, and then in brackets starter bow. In fact, I'll have it all in caps, it seems better. So starter bow, and that would basically be that. Now you need to, if it's not already up here imported chat color, you'll need to import chat color. And if you ever get this type like error, save it, and then if you still get the error, just go ahead and do a empty quotations and then a plus. I don't really know why it does this, but it just does this for some strange reason. I really don't know why. Anyway, so we're then going to want to go ahead and stick the name. So we're going to do starter bow dot set item meta, then in these brackets I'm going to do m, and then the semicolon. So from now on, if you didn't want to name the bow, you can carry on from here. Otherwise, you know, you don't really need to. So I'm gonna go ahead and do starter bow, because I want to add an attachment. So add enchantment even, not an attachment. And then you want to do enchantment dot. Now I want the bow to have a durability, so I'm going to put durability, and the level of that I believe is only 1 anyway, so I'm going to put 1. And then starter bow, because I want to add another one where it's basically unlimited arrows. So then you know, you don't need to give them a stack or 8 stacks or anything. And then enchantment dot arrow infinity or infinite, whatever you really want to call it, you know, your personal preference really. So basically that will then give the player, or basically be like, so the player will only have to have 1 arrow to use the bow. So then we're going to go ahead and add the item to the player. So the player dot, well actually we dimmed it as p, so p dot get inventory, or if you did dim it as player, go ahead and put player dot get inventory. If I can actually type it properly, you want to add the item, and then in brackets you want to put what you dimmed it as. I dimmed it as starter bow, so that's obviously what I'm going to go ahead and put. And then I want to go ahead and get, you know, p.getInventory even. So p.getInventory add item. Now I'm going to go ahead and add a new item stack, because what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and give the player a material. This material will then be the arrow. Then material dot arrow comma 1, because I only want to give them 1. Now the way this add item works, basically add item, this will be in slot 1, this will be in slot 2, and if you want to add like a sword but you want it to be in slot 1, make sure you put it above this, just below this line here. I always do it in the ways where the first item will be the first type of item stack that I put in. Like all the item stacks I'd put here, and then all the item meters I'd put on the same type of row, if I was actually being neat in coding. So I'm going to go ahead and do player.getInventory, because I want to give the player p.getInventory even. So I want to give the player a chest plate. So instead of giving them a chest plate, you want to set chest plate. And now in here you want to do new item stack, and in brackets again material dot, and then basically the basically what is made out of that. So leather, gold, diamond, chain mail, I believe that's it. Yeah, iron, and then underscore is basically spaces, and I'm going to put chest plate, and then p.getInventory dot set, let's say I want to set leggings, and then obviously new item stack bracket again, and then material dot leather leggings. Now you don't really need to put a number. It's just the reason why is you can't set more than one anyway, unless if it's, you know, glitched out like this. But you know, it's not necessary. It's really not necessary. So I'm going to go ahead and let's say I want to go ahead and set the max health for the player. So player.set max health, or even p.set max health. We need to get used to that. And then bracket. Now inside of this bracket is basically what you want them to have. So you could give them 100 hearts. You know, you could give them, no, that would be 50 hearts, because every row of hearts is 20. So you know, I want to give them 40, so that would be 2 lines of hearts, or I could give them 30, which would be 2.5 lines of hearts. So in fact I'll do that. So then I want to do p.set health, or when I actually get onto the coding later, I will go ahead and tell you guys a even better way on how you can set the health. Like if you don't want the player to get health when they pick a kit, because you know they could be running around, they could be nearly dead, they could pick a kit and they'll get max health, they could annihilate the person that is following them. So if you want later, I can go ahead and implement that. Aqua. Oh yeah, and this is actually just going to be one big tutorial, just basically because it's a lot easier. Now I'm going to put you was given the, and then space, and then plus, and then chat color, because I want it to stand out, so I'm going to put dot bold, and then plus, and then chat color dot italics, because I want it to also look like it's italic, and then chat color dot you kind of want to put what the starter bow will be called, like in like basically you kind of want to like have a set theme or set color for different type of kit. So starter is green, so I'm going to go ahead and put green, and then plus, and then starter kit, and they basically, you know, that's just going to be it. That's how simple that was. And again, if you get that red underscore thing, just add empty quotations and put the plus. It doesn't really matter if you do that or not, it won't put a space. So that is our starter kit. So if you want, you could, you know, sort out this coding. I don't recommend you do this yet, because you won't be able to do it. You won't be able to go ahead and test this out yet. So basically I'm going to go ahead and add another // end of starter command, and then leave that, and then I'm going to put amateur command, or lowercase even. Then I'm going to go ahead and put if. So basically this is our second kit. So if cmd.get name. You could pretty much just copy this if you wanted to, but I've already got my set one. So basically we're going to copy the top. So basically that is kind of like our set one. So that could be your kind of like layout if you wanted to. And then I'm going to put amateur instance of player, put a enter, and that will do that. I'm going to go ahead and copy it until the arrow or bow spot. So p player. Now I'm gonna have to go ahead and change this item meta that we put. So I'm going to put n, rename everything to do with n or m even, because otherwise it would set a separate bow. Now if it was the same bow, you could go ahead and do that, but it's not the same bow for me. So I'm going to put amateur bow. Change this to yellow. I don't know why. I kind of like yellow being an amateur. And that's pretty much that. I still want to give them the same. I basically still want to give them the same bow, but amateur. The only difference between amateur is that they also get a sword. So I kind of just want to go over here, paste it again. Instead of starter bow, I'm going to put amateur. That's actually one thing I didn't change. And then sword, I didn't change this to amateur bow. So amateur bow. You also then want to change it to be here as well. So amateur bow, amateur bow, amateur bow. Then that will get rid of the error, or not. Oh wait, it's because we haven't defined it here. So amateur bow, and that's that. So obviously we kind of want to go ahead and put amateur sword. So amateur sword dot get. I'm actually just going to go ahead and copy this thing here, so then I don't actually have to go ahead and type it each and every single time. Yeah, it's just easier. Copy and pasting a little bit of coding. There's nothing wrong with it, but if you do get errors, go ahead, search your errors. It's the only way you're gonna get it working. Let's see. Amateur sword. Right, so obviously we're gonna have to name this again. Actually, you can put the top one as M. Sorry. As long as it's on a different if statement, you're fine. But the next one will have to be different. So M was fine. Now on the second one, we want to go ahead and wait. Yeah, this one is already on N, so that's fine. So you won't longer get any errors for that. So then I'm going to change this to sword. Change this to, say if I want a wooden, so wood sword, I believe it is, yes it is. So I'm creating a new wood sword. I'm going to name that wood sword amateur sword. I'm going to have to remove these enchantments, because these enchantments, I believe it can't, well the top one can, oh actually, no, we don't really want a durability on there. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that, and I want to add damage. So damage underscore all is basically sharpness, I believe. And then I want to add knockback. So knockback. And both of them enchantments will be 1. Make sure you put an N after knock, after K, otherwise it won't work. So I've done that, and I kind of just want to go ahead and give the player some leather armor, full set of leather armor. So I'll just do that right now, because it's kind of boring to do. So I've done that, pretty simple. Obviously it wasn't hard to do, so I'm going to go ahead and then set the player.inventory. So player.get inventory .add item in brackets. I want to give them the amateur sword, p.get inventory .add item, and then amateur bow. Then we also want to give them a arrow, which I believe I haven't added in. I haven't. So right under, actually no, we can just give them a new item stack here. So p.get inventory .add item bracket new item stack, then material dot arrow, and then we just want to give them 1, so space comma 1. Now you could put this up here, but we want it in order, so we want this one to be in slot 1, slot 2, slot 3. If you did arrow at the top, that one would be in slot 1. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this line of coding, because we're just going to go ahead and basically put that down here. So space blah 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 space 30 health. You was given, going to change this to yellow, from aqua to yellow. Change this green again to yellow. Actually no, aqua. Wait, no, yellow. First one should have been aqua, because that's the main color. So aqua, if I can type. Change starter to amateur, and that should all be correct now. We got to return false, and that is pretty much that. So now we can actually go ahead and go onto the player listener. Sorry, this is all in one tutorial. I just thought it would be a lot easier. I'll actually go ahead and edit this as soon as after. So implement, we want to implement our listener. So, well, it's not really implementing our listener, we're implementing a listener, which creates that. Obviously you want to import it. Now we're defining that our main plugin, that main is basically our plugin, and then you want to import the main, so me.main, that's basically what you're importing, and then public player listener main capital M instance squiggly bracket, oh, this dot plugin equals instance. So basically we're defining that main is the plugin, so instead of doing this dot main, it'll be main this dot plugin. Oh, I know why, because if you put an S on player listeners, you need to go ahead and add an S, otherwise it will give you this error. I totally forgot about that. I totally forgot that I actually misspelled it. So we want to add a event handler. This will basically be when the player joins. So if you want, you could do a / when player joins the server. You can go ahead and do player. Well, actually no, we need to do public. Sorry, public void player join, or you could put on join. It doesn't really matter what you put there. And then in brackets you want to do player join event. Now this doesn't really matter what you do unless if you dim it, and now we're going to dim it as an E just because it's really simple. And then we're going to do player. You kind of want to import event handler and player join event. Forgot about that. So you want to do player P, we're going to dim it as P again, and then e.get player. Make sure you have the correct capitals and lower cases. So that just got the player. We're then going to string the player's name. So we're going to string it as p name, and then we're going to p.get name. So basically we just stringed the player name. We're going to import player, and then p.get inventory. And then we're going to clear the inventory. Now the reason why we're going to clear the inventory is because after we want to give them the item. It's just a lot easier, really. It is literally just a lot easier. It's a lot easier way. Then we're gonna go ahead and do a / message to send the player. No, to send the server on join. So I believe we can cancel a player. So p.set. No, I don't think we can set cancel the server as joined, but we can also broadcast the message to everyone that someone has joined. If there is, I'll add it in the description. Hopefully you have annotations on and you check this back then. You basically check if there is an annotation here or not. If not, it should be in the description. Anyway, So chat color will be aqua, it will also be bold, and then we want to add the player's name, so p name and then plus, then we're going to reset it, or you could just keep it. Now I kind of want it to be different, so chat color dot gold plus, and then bracket, or not brackets but quotation marks, and then has joined the KitPvP server. If you wanted to, you could go ahead and do it differently. Do whatever you want in here, but p name is basically saying that it basically gets the player name. Obviously over here we got the player, we basically dimmed the p name as the player.getName, so it would get the player name, and we basically dimmed it or stringed it as p name. It's just a lot easier to understand. Now we kind of want to give the player the kit selector. Now if you've got a plugin which does this, so I'm actually just going to go ahead and when we use this I'm going to put compass navigation in, just because I don't really have a plugin that I can go ahead and create right now. So this is basically, if you're using some sort of GUI, this is basically what you can do. There are literally many GUIs, so if you've even coded your own plugin, say the item was a compass or it was a diamond, all that you want to do is basically rename what I put from compass to whatever your item will be, but it has to be dimmed to the item throughout the server, otherwise it won't work. The item name won't stick, because we're only doing this for some sort of it's basically temporary. It's a temporary name. It's not a name that will stick throughout the entire game, so it's not really annoying. So kit selector, we basically just dim the kit selector. Now we're going to go ahead and get the item meta. Obviously we're going to go ahead and set the display name, so set display name chat color dot, let's say we want it to be gold because gold stands out quite a lot. Then in fact I'm going to do chat color dot bold also, and then kit selector, and then kit selector dot set item meta, and then we dimmed it as M as per usual. Now if you get this type of everything, just add quotations and then plus import item meta, and then p.get inventory set item. Now I kind of want to set this in slot 5, but for some strange reason if you do 5 it will set it in 6. Don't ask me why. So you always want to do a number below. You know, it's not really hard, it's pretty simple. So if you want it to be 5 it would be 4, if you want it in 1 it would be, well, you'd totally just get rid of the number there, and I don't know why I did that, 0. Or if that doesn't work, do it 1. I haven't really checked out 0. So I kind of want to be in the middle, so that's that. That is literally the end of player joining the server. So now we just want to go ahead and let's say, what do we really want to do now? Now we want to send a message where the player leaves. So catch what's in my room. So we want to add a when player leaves / quits the server. Then we're going to go ahead and add a event handler. So event handler public void player. Now I'm going to put leave. It doesn't really matter what you dim there. So player leave, and then player quit event. This is actually what it's called. So don't put leave, put quit. Then you're gonna want to go ahead and import that. That will then sort out that. Now we want to go ahead and do player.p. If you really wanted to, you can go ahead and just copy this first one and paste it. I'm going to do it because it's a lot easier. Now we want to clear their inventory again, so when they join they manage to get that. And we're going to put has quit the PvP server, same color. There'll be nothing special about it. We're going to save it all because we've done quite a lot of progress. And now this is when we start to end the, let's say end off the end of player leaving the server. Let's just go ahead and put a capital O there, because that's kind of annoying me. And then first I'm just going to press a few returns, so this is quite high up. Right, yeah, so we need to add a override, event handler. That was totally wrong. And then public void. Now I'm going to just call this def, because basically when the player dies, we're not going to do a respawn because we would put that in here itself. So we're going to put it as E, squiggly bracket again, import def of the event. Again, that's what it's called. I'm going to go ahead and do player P. So we're basically going to dim the player as e.get entity, or you could put victim if you wanted to. Go to put victim, seems cool. Not e/get, or depending on how your coding already is laid out, you could dim e.get victim as e.get entity, but it looks like the way that I wanted it to work isn't working, so I'm just going to dip as entity. There's nothing wrong with that, you know, whatever. So I'm going to then dim K as the killer, which is the player killer, and then I'm going to remove all drops on the floor. So if you want to remove drops when the player dies, so like no one can pick up their class, you then want to add this e.get drops.clear, otherwise it won't do anything. Now you want to set a def message. This def message will then be broadcasted to the server. You could literally customize this, like, oh, so and so killed so and so. In fact, I'm actually going to go ahead and do that as a tutorial. So I'm going to put let's say e.get entity plus, and then let's say we want to go ahead and do a chat color. So chat color dot aqua. No, not aqua. Can't have aqua. We'll put red. No, we can't really have red either. What could we have? Let's have a look at some formatting codes. And 9, so it'll be just blue. So dot blue plus, and then the entity's name, and then plus. We're going to then change chat color dot aqua. We're going to change it to aqua plus was, or space, and was killed by, and then space again, and then plus chat color dot blue, red even, plus p dot get killer, because obviously we dimmed it as killer earlier. Basically that is how the message will display. So basically it'd be let's say I died, so njets underscore IPX or underscore x. No, let's say my Minecraft username was Looney Rules. So Looney Rules was killed by, let's say, Smuzzy11. That's basically what it was, what it would display. Or you could just have it as blank if you don't want it to display anywhere and you just want it to be between certain people. So chat color dot aqua. This is basically the message that will be sent to the player, that died. So you kind of want to let them know as well. So you were killed. Were I'm just gonna put that because I don't know which word it was. It is even. You killed. You were killed by, and then plus chat color dot red plus k dot get name, because we kind of just want to get the killer name, plus chat color dot aqua plus space and lost. Now this loss thing is totally up to you. If you want the player to lose money, you know, you can go ahead and do this. Now I'm actually going to not do this, so I'm going to do nothing. So I'm just going to go ahead and totally remove that, because I don't really want them to lose any money, as it's just something. Now if the player will be losing money or receiving money, you kind of want to add a string CMD. I'll put this code in the description for you guys, so if you do have a like economy or economy, whichever way it's actually said, you can go ahead and put this in, and they'll lose, like the person that actually got killed will lose $3 and the one will gain $10. But obviously that's totally up to you, so if you want to, that will be in the description. So that will be the death event. This is how simple the death event was. Now we want to add a respawn event. I don't know why earlier I said the respawn event would be inside of it, because it's not. It's totally different. Oh, I believe that's what I said. So we want to add a event handler, and then public void respawn, and then player respawn event. Respawn event. We're going to do this as E again. Get them there. Import player respawn event, and then player p equals e dot get player. So event dot get player. Then we're now if you're gonna go ahead and do it to where the player will lose money, again, coding will be in the description below. It basically the string CMD one. So the only difference, basically I'll do two. One of them is if you're using economy, or I'll probably just do it in a notepad actually. So notepad will be, well, the examples in the notepad will be one, well, basically just for the plugin economy. Otherwise it won't work for you unless it has like the same type of command anyway. So you know, that kind of is different, I guess, for everyone else. So given select inventory, given kit selector even inventory. So basically now we're going to go ahead and give the player the inventory kit again. So you could just scroll up and copy this, Control C and Control V this down here. Should all work fine, unless if you haven't dimmed things correctly. And that is, I believe, it. String cannot be resolved. Why can't it be resolved? We sorted out this plugin manager. Just the string. Oh, that's because, right, okay, it's because I haven't put string properly right here. Otherwise, you know, that's how simple you can fix your encodings. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You could even send the player a message saying you was killed, we've wheelbarrowed you back to spawn or something. But that is pretty much that, guys. And again, we need to finish off this plugin thing, so it'll be me.tut.main. So basically, your main class, which from here it already checks the source. So me.tut, it will find it. No, like, right. So which one out of these two? Main. So it will find main, and then it will find the main class in this main folder. Obviously it's here. Capitals do matter, so don't forget about your capitals, otherwise it won't work. So that is that. Now it's time to go ahead and test this. So let's do export. Make sure you save it. Export Java, jar file. Next, you want to untick .project and .class path. So plugin's the only one there. Save this to my desktop tutorial. KitPvP. Save. Finish. It should be on our desktop right now. It's here. So I'm going to go ahead, launch up Minecraft. Hopefully get a server up as well, so I can actually show you it, and hopefully if I can, go get a friend so I can show you the death messages. So I will be back as soon as I can. Alright guys, so you know, just installed the plugin. Now when you actually go to install the plugin and you launch your server, that shouldn't even be up, and you launch your server, you'll realize that the KitPvP hasn't actually created a folder because it's got nothing to store it, therefore it's not going to create one. So you can connect to your server, but you know, if you wanted to, you could check the CMD to make sure that it's enabled, so you can connect. So if I connected right now, you would see in the chat that it says NGX underscore has joined the KitPvP, and obviously like it should have. Smuzzy just joined, and it also broadcasted that to everyone. Now if Adam left, it would also broadcast that and says that he has quit the KitPvP server. So pretty much the next thing to do is just quickly set the time to 0. You realize that you actually spawned with a kit selector. Now if you actually right click it, well, if you guys right click it, nothing will happen, but I set up compass navigation with this. Totally ignore all this type of stuff. I literally just imported this from a different server that I've got, just very quickly. So as you can see, Adam selected a kit, but if I did /starter, actually no, in fact I'll do /help tutorial KitPvP. This is basically what we put in the plugin.yml. The amateur and the starter, that's basically what it shows. As you can see, this will give the player the amateur and obviously ... in ellipses because my description was too long. It also tells you, well, this thing here is basically the usage, so you know, that is that. So if I did /starter, it would give me the kit, but also if I quickly give myself a compass again, okay, /give ngx compass 1. Alright, if I right clicked it and click starter, it would also give me the kit because all that is a command. Right guys, so I'm just going to go ahead and select a kit, and then I'm going to go ahead and let Adam kill me when he turns around. So selecting a kit is pretty simple. It tells you the kit that you selected, and it also tells you the command that you executed to get it. And as you can see, it said you, and obviously I put that little dash thing just as an example. You killed, as it, you know, it would basically mean you are or you was killed by Smuzzy11, and it actually broadcasted the message that I was killed by Smuzzy11. And also if I quickly select the amateur kit and kill Smuzzy11, I'll be able to show you guys the message that it sends to the kill, or the person that actually killed, well, that actually got the kill, should I say. So I quickly just kill him once he dies. There you go, it says congrats, you killed Smuzzy11, and obviously it just not teleported, it broadcasted the message again. But obviously if you guys did it from the coding that was just, you know, in the project, it won't work. So if you actually went ahead and went into the notepad.txt and downloaded that and followed the steps on there, you'd be able to get this working fine. So all that we're going to do, basically me and Adam, we're just going to fight it out and obviously show you guys that the plugin isn't just something that we've done on a timer or something, and it actually works properly. Oh, I was on like 2 hearts. Oh yeah, and also the heart things worked. Obviously I've got 1.5 rows of hearts, and obviously, you know, it works fine. Right, so guys, this is mainly our server that we're actually going to record our little footage on. Just mainly because it's got a money system, and if you follow, like I said, if you follow the notepad.txt little tutorial on how you can get extra features and fix things, you know, you will be able to get this feature. And this is basically what the add-in, well, taking away money and giving money will look like. So let the montage commence.
I don't really think that you can see, but I know everything you do to me. With you, girl, anything is possible. We can be unstoppable. We can be unstoppable. One thing about you, man, you see we not the same. We just some workaholics, because it's not a game. I'm out for everybody until they know our name. Yeah, OCD the gang, said OCD the gang. Bad bitch to my rebound, she be thinking about me now. Gotta get my way up, breaking all of this tree down. Boy, don't get me started, so high I can't recall it. These girls wanna get my love, goddamn I think she caught it. I don't really think that you can see, but I know everything you do to me. With you, girl, anything is possible. We can be unstoppable. We can be unstoppable. I know, I know, we can be unstoppable. I know, we can be unstoppable.
I'ma go young, I'ma do it all for you, girl. I don't really give a fuck about y'all. Got me like damn, I be so crazy, dog. Ain't nobody really said they made me, dog. Swear to God, we'll be in the Forbes magazine one day, looking like M and Tracy, dog. Old school souls to the flow, so killer. I'll be on my ape shit, I'm a gorilla. They be on that fake shit, we be so really. And I come through the lane like an 18-wheeler, goddamn. The love I have for you is amazing. All them other girls stay basic, you be getting wasted, but your other half stay patient. Love in your heart, better chase it, damn.
I don't really think that you can see, but I know everything you do to me. With you, girl, anything is possible. We can be unstoppable. We can be unstoppable. I know, I know, we can be unstoppable. I know, we can be unstoppable. I know you with it, girl. It's been a minute, girl. I said we in it to the finish. Don't forget it, girl. I know you with it, girl. It's been a minute, girl. I said we in it to the finish. Don't forget it, girl. I don't really think that you can see, but I know everything you do to me. With you, girl, anything is possible. We can be unstoppable. We can be. Unstoppable. We can be unstoppable.